Hey, what's up, Lyfe Cast fam? How we doing this beautiful Monday? It's Lennon here. I'm coming to you live and direct from my home gym, aka my living room right back here. I'm making this video for one big reason, and that's to kind of enlighten us about three-dimensional movement, okay? This is how all movement needs to happen. We have three planes or three ways we move: forward, backward, up and down linear there, a side to side, right? And then this rotation as well. Too often when I see people posting videos of their workouts or things that are great workouts for whatever body part, while they might be awesome exercises, we got to make sure that they're appropriate for the person who's watching them, right? There's no such thing as good or bad exercise. There's just an exercise appropriate for the person or not appropriate for the person. Basically, it's that simple. So we want to keep that in mind before we do anything and put that disclaimer out that even today, as I show you some of these things, that these exercises are good for me and appropriate for me, maybe not for you. So go check it out, meet with a fitness professional of some sort to kind of see what movements may be appropriate for you watching this. Okay, so the big thing that I have more than any other gripe with the stuff that I see online and even in gyms, people are doing, that trainers are doing with their clients is like I said, are they the right movements? But even, more so than that, or as much as of it as that, is we get stuck in this sagittal plane. It's the forward, backward, up and down. It's our walking lunges, our squats, our bench press, right? Our bicep curls, our tricep presses, all these really common things that we see so many people doing at the gym over and over and over. And while the sagittal plane is great, and I love the sagittal plane, it is super awesome, when we neglect those other two planes, those other two dimensions, that side to side frontal plane and that rotational transverse plane, then we're really doing ourselves a disservice. We're going to end up getting injured. Our body will be extremely less efficient, and believe it or not, you will not be as strong even in that sagittal plane as you would be if you had better three-plane movement, because all movement happens in all three planes at once, even though we may be dominant. So if your muscles do know how to work in the different planes, they're going to actually be able to work more efficiently when you're just in the one sagittal plane. Anyways, so basically what's going to happen in this video is I'm going to do a circuit. And a circuit is when you set up 3, 4, 5 exercises right in a row. Basically, you bust through each round or each set of them, right? You do your reps. You take a little break in between, whatever you need, but try to keep it to just whatever that transition is, but make sure you're feeling your body. When you feel ready to go, you hit that next exercise, bang out those reps, like I said, as quickly as you can between, but with the idea of listen to your body, because don't go unless you feel comfortable. So I'm going to set up a circuit. I'm going to do the first circuit, or the way I do this, I'm going to do it all sagittal plane. All exercises that we see online and in gyms like crazy. After that, I'm going to do the same circuit, but I'm going to go ahead and make it 3 planes, okay? And we're going to kind of see the difference, how we can do these same essential great movements, but make sure that we can do them all 3 planes. It's going to help us be stronger, perform better, and reduce our chance for injury once we do it right. Okay, long enough intro. I'm going to get into the circuits right now. First circuit I'm going to do, we're going to do just some basic movement patterns here. You'll see them as we go along. And from that point, I'm going to do them all sagittal plane like we typically see them. And then I'm going to, like I said, switch it up and do them in all 3 planes. All right, that's enough of this. Let's do this. Exercise I'm going to do, we're going to start with just basic squats. I'm going to do body squats or air squats, however you want to look at them, meaning I'm not going to hold any excess weight. So there's a million ways to do squats. This is just one kind, air squats starting here. I'll start, let's see, trying to get, so this looks good. Now, for me and my squats, we're going to self-choose, but I like to go anywhere from hips to shoulder. I feel pretty comfortable right about here, okay? I also like to toe out just a little bit. I'm not way out like that, right? But I like to toe out just a bit. It's a little safer and friendlier on my knees. Plus, I feel stronger. I can get a little more depth in the squat. But again, I want you to pick what feels best for you and go from there. Okay, so from here, the movement is simple. I'm gonna drop down, pushing my butt back as I reach my arms, in this case, forward. So like this, squat, squeeze your butt to come up, right? Squat, butt to come up. When you look at it this way, right, it's squat, come up. Good, so I'm gonna bust out. I'm gonna switch that. I'm gonna go right in to another really common exercise that we see, and that's forward lunges. Do what we call a bent over row or a bench row. A lot of people will find their bench, right? They'll come here, they'll get a nice flat back here, they'll be strong, and they'll bust out some reps there of our pull, right? The bicep curl. So here we'll stand, we'll get nice, we'll show this view first, nice straight arm. We're gonna inhale, exhale. There's that. Okay, from here, I'm gonna transition into a shoulder press, right? Again, come down. So that was an example of a circuit, right? We did what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 exercises. Squats, lunges, bent over row, bicep curl, shoulder press. Okay, so we did 5. Now we're gonna go ahead, go through very similar circuit, but we're gonna add some tweaks to bring in the other planes, okay? So I'm gonna show you a few different ways to do that. Starting with squats again. Number of different ways that we can tweak this and get into some, alternate planes. The one I really like, and again, this is just one. There are a lot of these. If you have questions, talk to me, right? Again, as you're doing some of these, we want to make sure they're appropriate for you. So be careful in doing some of these, okay? I've trained a long time, and again, I know that these are really good for me. So the way we're gonna do this kind of a squat, I'm gonna again do the same motion as I kind of drop down, push my hips back, right? This time with my arms, instead of doing the straightforward reach, what I'm gonna do is actually, and it's a better view from this side, I'm gonna reach my hands one way across the body. And as I do that, it's gonna create a chain reaction into a more transverse plane tweak and get more transverse rotation. And you also will get a little of that lateral rotation too. So we'll set up just like our normal squat, find the feet distance that's comfortable for you, right? We're gonna be here, we're gonna take a big inhale. Now as I come down, I reach, come up and squeeze my butt, other side. Reaching down. Right? Just a couple ways that we can incorporate a different planes into our squats. Okay, next we're gonna do the lunges. We did forward lunges, right? And we did them with no arms. We're gonna do three different things to add some triplane movement in here, okay? First thing, we're gonna stick with the forward lunge. Remember these, right? Forward lunge. This time we're gonna add our arms. We're gonna rotate our arms towards that lead lunging leg. You like the alliteration, okay? And what we're gonna do, that's gonna add a transverse tweak, not only to this upper body core, but you'll see it's actually gonna, and you can feel as you go, it's gonna take it from the bottom of the feet all the way up, right? And everything is going to rotate. We call this a top-down driver. Okay, here we go. Ready? Forward lunge, rotate the body. Boom. Forward lunge, rotate the body. The head can stay straight ahead of you, or up to you. You can move it. They provide different challenges, different things. We'll look at it from this way, right? Rotate and rotate. One of my favorite things about this, as you come here, it actually really loads up our huge glute muscles right here, loads them up, lengthens them, and then when we go to fire back, boom, big contraction. Awesome for that. Okay, so that's one way we can get a tweak, a rotational tweak into a forward lunge. Now let's look at a couple other different lunges. Let's go lateral. So we can go start with just lateral, okay, now lunge, right? Lateral lunge. We can go both sides. Lateral lunge. Try to get lateral lunge. Okay, we can add our arms. We can go lateral lunge, lateral reach, right? Lateral lunge, little side bend. Or we can go lateral lunge, again, rotate, add the transverse. Lateral lunge, transverse. We can go lateral lunge, reach, back, sagittal tweak, right? Bring in the sagittal. Boom, we can go the other way. Let's get a few the other way. We'll come here, do a couple, come here, do a couple, right? Boom, and we'll come here, do a couple. Let your depth just be what feels natural. Don't fight through anything. Feel good about it, okay? So that's a little lateral lunge, because in real life, we do have to take a step somewhere and then maybe come back this way, right? Lateral lunge, some different tweaks of the upper body to get the other planes in motion, facilitating motion from the bottom up and the top down. Okay, next thing, we're gonna look rotation lunge. Rotation lunge looks like this. I'll show a couple. We're gonna take our hips first, rotate behind you, heel hits, front leg straightens a bit, weight transfer to the back leg, come on back, right? If we come this way, it looks like this, boom, and back. We'll get you a little this way, boom, and back. Okay, now we're gonna add some different drivers. This time we're gonna do a transverse or a rotational lunge with a rotational reach. So we'll go hands here, rotate lunge, really rotate behind you. We'll come to the other side, same thing, right? We look at it from the back, boom, same thing, same thing. Beautiful. Next little tweak we can do to that, we can rotate and go arms up. Now we have a nice little sagittal plane action as we transverse lunge, right? You can use weights with this if you want. Just have to understand your loads and capacities, right? So there's another one. We can take a look at it from this angle. Perfect. Okay, a couple tweaks there. So now we see different ways to lunge, right? All sorts of different ways. And again, in real life, you do this. You might reach back to grab something and then let's go. Now we can kind of combine those, right? We can go rotation lunge, forward lunge, right? Come into lateral lunge, right? Rotation lunge, forward lunge, right? Lateral lunge. So you can see how we can get these flowing, right? Beautiful. So there's tweaks on our lunges. Row here, right? So we came here originally, right? Nice, sturdy, boom, really isolating out those muscles in the shoulder blade, upper back. How can we change this and make it a little bit harder, or more importantly, add a tweak? So a couple ways. I like this way personally. A split stance, right? I put more weight on my front leg than my back leg. But then keeping a pretty tall chest and a relatively neutral spine, push your hip back to tip over, okay? Now, we've probably done this and we get this little action, right? Which provides a different stability challenge, obviously, but we're still stuck in sagittal plane. So what I really love to do is get the thoracic spine and the hips involved, and this is how we do this. We use the other arm, okay? So, and I'll show this from different angles. First, we're gonna start here. With this arm, I'm going to reach down as I pull up. Okay, if I come from this side and look at it, here I am, nice and strong, loaded up glute here, most of the weight's up front, neutral spine, we're gonna get a little tip over. Here we go, start here, ready, pull, and reach. And if you look from the back, we're gonna really look at my mid back here and what this driver really does. It's providing a counter motion in the transverse plane, rotating, which brings your thoracic spine and your full body and the your core, as they would call it, really into motion. So, little transverse tweak there. Coming to our bicep curl. Lots of ways to do this. We can go right here, and we can just go step behind you, curl, right? I like to add lunges to it a lot. We could go step here and curl. Let's see if we can get a little better. Step here and curl, right? But we could also take it to frontal plane with a toe tap, right? All kinds of cool stuff that we can do. Curling. We can do some hip mobility, little tweaks, right? Doesn't take a lot, but now we're feeding the whole system, bottom up, top down. Still asking a lot of work here, but now we're asking it to do it in all planes, and it actually likes that. So, easy way to do the bicep. Last but not least, we did a shoulder press, right? Tons of ways to kind of incorporate this. I like to do it. First, you can go bicep curl, shoulder press, get the shoulder moving in all dimensions, sagittal, little rotation out, transversing, now we're frontal, and then we keep that rotation. Boom, here. We can totally do it with lunges, right? We can go here, we can go here, all kinds of different ways to shoulder press. Yeah, we can work different ranges, squeezing the hamstring, working the shoulder. Just like so, right? Coming out, working the shoulder. We can kind of combine a row and a curl and a press and a lunge. Lunge, reach. Here's our pull, right? Here's our row. Coming up, curl, press. Boom, row, curl, press. Okay, those, there we go. Those are just a couple ways that we can tweak our common exercises, lunges, squats, curls, presses, rows, right? Pulls, anything. You can do it with all kinds of stuff. Keep it simple. Go through the basic motions, right? And then just do different things. Try reaching your arms one way. And when I say try, don't just do it willy-nilly. Make sure, again, like I've said over and over, that you're clear for the exercises, that the exercises are good for you, that they're what you need, what your body needs. And when you do that, you can really start to play and have some fun. Okay, I hope that kind of showed a couple different approaches to how we can take some good movements, but that we do too often just in a straight line over and over and over. Make some tweaks, let the whole system work together, doing stuff that it does in all three planes. All right, guys, I'm gonna get back to the workout and actually get to it, bust through this stuff fast. I really appreciate your time listening. As always, it's Lennon with Lyfe Cast. I'm gonna give you some points. Happy Monday, much love.